Go get it, Sid.
Bad move.
He's already got one.
Yay! Good job, Sid.
She's got the fever now. She tasted one goal, and that's all.
Well, we tried a few things. I did ballet and tap and jazz when I was little, so I thought, okay, I'm gonna put my little girl into that type of stuff too. And didn't go so well. She was not a fan and didn't really like it. So we decided to put her in soccer. Just kind of started at 3 by doing that and never really looked back.
Right now, we are at Strikers Soccer Center, where I touched the ball for the very first time at the ripe age of 3. But I had a long, how many years did I have here, Mom? 6?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, about 6 years, where these were all where my practices were. Games, weekends were all spent right here.
And the parents would just stand along the side and lean.
Oh yeah, you like,
Yeah.
you lean like this and you just watch.
Yeah, this is what we would just stand on the side and lean in and watch games because you weren't allowed inside.
Field 1. Met like my best friends out here. It's crazy. Remember the little pictures? I was like,
Yes,
I had my foot on a ball. I was right here, but I was like,
Yeah.
shorter than the goalpost. I was like that.
That's where all the signature pictures were.
The Striker Soccer Center was fantastic. They had a 3 and easy program, and it seemed to fit really well. And
You were like one of my first coaches.
Yeah, yeah. But it fit really well and allowed her to kind of get outside and run around a little bit. Preparing them for what comes next was really kind of where I've been. Success for me was just, are you prepared to be out in the world and do the things that you want to do because you have that prep? You don't get that if you're just kind of, if the standard is not here, right? If it's down here, you're gonna just get walked over.
All right,
Yeah.
ready?
I'm ready. You,
right.
you run
We'll
through.
do a
I
little
don't get to train.
90s action.
You know, for me with the kids, it was always just about reserve the right to do whatever you want athletically, right? It would suck if you didn't know how to do these things and you wanted to do them and you're behind everybody. So I was like, let's just get you a little bit ahead. And so that's really where it came from. And now I get to see full circle. I get to just train with her and she shows me what to do.
Fair enough.
Is it done? Is it time?
No.
Are we done? Are we through? Donezo. All right. Good work.
Boom.
Whew.
I don't know anybody that really had the same recruiting process as me. She took us to our first Clemson camp when I was in, what, 5th grade?
Yes.
4th grade? One of those.
Yeah.
And then they started being like, after camps, they'd be like, we want you to play here. And I vividly remember it was after summer camp in 8th grade. The coaches pulled me aside. They were like, we want you to go through your recruiting process. So we don't want to rush anything. But when you are ready to commit to Clemson, we want you here. And I remember leaving here. I was like, yeah, I can go to Clemson. So then I committed 4 days before this showcase. But the first game, we were like in the first half. And I'm a forward at the time. I'm going after the ball. And the goalie's also going after the ball. And then instead of grabbing the ball, she grabs my leg. And it just, without being graphic, it just snaps. When I got injured, it was the first time that I didn't play soccer ever. I think there had never been like more than a week where I didn't touch a ball for my entire life until I was 14 when it happened. So like when I got injured, it was really my first taste of feeling like what it would be if I didn't have soccer. I kind of had a bit of an identity crisis. You just feel lost, and a lot of times it's really hard to put it into words.
You kind of went into a dark place after when you were coming back from your broken leg. And there were lots of sleepless nights and lots of questions and, you know, lots of talks that we had that I could tell that you were not okay. I started doing some research into sports psychologists. I was like, okay, well, they have sports psychologists and they specialize in people coming back from injury or having, you know, any sort of issues. And I thought, okay, this is something that needs to happen because you were afraid, and I knew I needed to do something.
I think for a while, I was so hesitant to talk about things being weird. Not weird, but things feeling different, that I wasn't feeling me, because I didn't really think anybody else got it. And I didn't want to talk about it because I thought that I was going to be considered maybe weird or alone. But it turns out the more I talked about it, the more that everyone else was feeling the same exact way. And I felt such comfort in knowing that vulnerability is strength. And being able to openly talk about these things, whether that's through mental health counseling, through talking to my teammates, to my coaches, I verbalized that. I felt more safe because I was vulnerable around them. And I was able to trust that they then understood me and that I could show up authentically, however that meant, whether that meant that I was on top of the world or if I was having a rough day, and having a rough day is okay. I know that now I'm a big advocate, obviously, for mental health and being a person before you're an athlete. If you're there for someone, or if you're encouraging people to seek help, and even if you can't tell that someone's going through something, by you being vulnerable and showing up, being like, hey, it's okay to not be okay, that might be the pushing factor so that they get the help before it's too late. Since I've come to school and I found out through Clemson more of who I am off the field, it's been way more consistent as to how much I love the sport, but mainly just how much I love my team.
You know, on a personal level, team is super important to me. It's something that I push at work, I push here at the house. I mean, I explain that we're a team, even though sometimes I get a bad reaction to that.
No, I like it.
But I think, you know, those are the two things. Like, you control the controllables, but it really comes down to work ethic, and just put the work in, and then ultimately be a great teammate. And if you do those two things, I think you can do just about anything, not just in athletics, right? But that's in life in general. So those are the things that we try to get across.
I can control how I show up for my teammates. I can control the positive reinforcement I give, or the way that I motivate my teammates. I'm getting to fulfill my why by being the best teammate that I can be and seeing my team reach their best potential. I don't think I ever would have gotten that close, especially with Jake.
Yes.
If it weren't for COVID.
You guys really turned a corner then. There was a lot of fighting prior to that.
Okay, maybe not fighting, competition.
Always competition, like major competition all the time. Everything was a competition, everything.
Just me being the competitive person I am, him being the competitive person he is. I mean, that's probably why I'm so competitive in sports today. Like, we were just always fighting because one of us wanted to be better at something than the other. Right. And then when COVID happened, I think you realized, like, oh my gosh, maybe if we work together, we can both be better. It's almost like that's what you were trying to tell us the whole time. Jake, we haven't done this in a minute. Cause I don't live here anymore. You started playing baseball when you were like 6.
I think a little earlier than that.
But it was like, no matter what we did, our parents were like, you're gonna do it together.
Exactly.
Even if we didn't want to.
Exactly.
Because at one point it was like, we're still gonna help each other, but it's gonna be like a chore. I have to help Jake with BP today.
Exactly. When we were younger, forced to go to the fields.
And then, oh, Jake has to set balls into me today. And now it's like, we get to do that. It's super fun. It's a good appreciation for now when I watch baseball games. Yeah, you're breaking a sweat.
I know. I sweat a lot.
You and Dad are out of shape, bro.
No, I just sweat. Stop it.
Well, I had Dad sweating this morning. Uno más. Last one, best one. Let's go. Oh, that was a good one. Oh man, this is my least favorite part.
No, this is always the worst.
Always
Picking
getting
up
the balls
is the
back
worst.
into the bucket, but we can make a game of it.
The shoot it.
The shooter. It always takes way longer when you do it that way, but
It's more fun though.
yeah. All right. Let's go. I think the beautiful thing about sports is everything that you learn from it that can be applied to every aspect of your life. Before I was injured, I kind of looked at it as I am an athlete, or I'm athletic and I'm strong because I'm a soccer player, or I am liked because I'm athletic and cool and I'm the person going to Clemson. Instead of it being because I'm a soccer player, I'm competitive. Because I'm a soccer player, I'm strong. I'm hardworking, not just because I'm an athlete, but because of everything that I've done to get where I am. I can be a hard worker off the field or on the field. It's not just because I'm a soccer player. And just kind of taking a little bit of the athlete away from the person, disassociating that, that's where I found so much more progress in how I performed when I just became focusing on me, who Sydney is, and not just me, who I am as a soccer player. Because so much of my life I was like, oh, you're so ahead. You made it at 14, that's super cool. You went to a youth national team camp at 13, that's really cool, but it's like, yeah, these are cool things, but these are external things. One day I'm not gonna be able to play soccer, and am I gonna be okay with who I am, not as an athlete? Because at that point, then I'm just me. And what can I take from what I've learned through sport, from being a teammate, and how can I apply that to who I am?